Baby Zeus never getting a Ziggs. Last game he played a little bit of that Lulu. It went okay for him. Lucian away from Latman. Yeah, they got the taste of that landing phase and said, you know, that is a smart ban after all. The thing is, they still wanted Ziggs, Aurelia, and Kassadin all gone more so than him last time around when they were red side, but this time they tacked the Lucian ban back on. So Curse Academy back to that game one strategy. Wazabi, of course, adding Kassadin to their bans means they have to drop one of them. Now, will they add the Braum that they banned in game 2? Or will it be, I believe it was a Lulu they banned initially in the first game.
It got picked up by them first pick in this game 2. So now Lulu, Gragas are both open. You might want to first pick whichever one's a higher priority for you, or if you don't care, you leave it open and pick something else up and then pick whichever one they don't pick. But actually, Wazabi Gaming would take both if they had the opportunity. So you most likely have to take one of them. That's
true. Well, the Lulu does get grabbed, so we might just see that same matchup through. And I suppose ManCloud could play Lulu himself as well. I don't know how current the champion is, but heck, Curse Academy could do the same, so why the heck not? Wazabi Gaming 45 seconds to make their choices. They do get a guaranteed counter pick if they play their cards right. If they play them wrong, Curse Academy can do it for both lanes with the Lulu swap. We've even seen support Lulu played. Lemonation played it earlier today. So honestly, even more available than you might think, but every other support still on for these guys. Wazabi certainly taking their time to make these really important choices. Ziploc, will he steal the Lee Sin away from St. Vicious? That might be the case, and every single time 10Q just wants the Morgana, even with Braum off the table.
Yeah. Every time that Wazabi has gotten to those 2-3 spots, or the 1-2 when they're on red side, they're just like, all right, Morgana and then our jungler. And it's been at least every time. If they swap it up and go Lee Sin, they take it away from St. Vicious because it was just so deadly in game 1, and they know that he will pick it this time around.
Yeah, and I guess they just didn't really respect the solo queue practice from St. Vicious, but that did work out for them in that first game. So Lee Sin picked up here, Captain Ziploc. It is his most played. It's not like he doesn't know the champion, but this time really respecting Saint's Lee Sin, removing that one away. Of course, Yasuo was left open. That's the insta-lock there for ManCloud, the Tristana for Impactful. Looks like that will happen another time. I believe that's 3 straight for him now.
Yep. And this is a combination here from all 3 of these champions have knockups and can set up Yasuo so far. So it's a Yasuo composition here off the back of ManCloud, and that's actually his most played in solo queue currently, and he played it twice last time we saw him in Challenger to great success.
And you kind of got to expect Curse Academy to continue that success here with the champ select. It's looking good for them so far. Wazabi Gaming do need to throw a wrench into the works here. Hover on Caitlyn right now. I think as they now know all the matchups there, the only thing they really have left to show is, hey, try to find out Curse Academy support. At this point, unless you've got an actual sort of strategy you're trying to prepare, I would actually go for both solo lanes here as Wazabi, and just make sure your AD carry fits the rest of their comp.
Yeah, going for both solo laners and getting something for yourself. But looks like Latman hovering over the Caitlyn for that early game because Lucian's banned out, and trying to just have the mid-game advantage over Tristana might be the way that they choose to go.
And as we go through the rest of the picks and bans, those do get locked in by the timer there. I don't like teams that hover for like 20 seconds and just let the timer lock them in. So it just gives you more time to react. Say, yep, they're going Ori Caitlyn. Okay, pick the rest of their comp. Be ready for the team fighting. Now, of course, with the jungle pick, it doesn't really much matter. Elise, I think, is the sort of obvious lock in here for St. Vicious with the Rengar and Lee Sin being removed away. But no, I mean, I guess you could like Jarvan or Vi for more knockouts, but I feel like it's not important enough to not just play Elise.
Yeah, Elise gives him a lot of pressure, it gives him a lot of early game presence, which he likes to abuse. Don't know if he'll go for it or not, but I like the idea behind it, and I love the idea of a Nami. Another series of knockups here.
Yeah, I really like Nami here. It does make sense in the comp as well as the lane matchup there. Now Nami actually does have the ability to actually exert presence in the lane there without doing something like a flash flay. So it's something you finally got a 2-on-2 matchup for like the first time in a while here for Curse Academy where the support can be useful. And they're going to need that when they're facing up against Caitlyn, who's normally a very scary lane bully.
Yeah, extra sustain for themselves, good trading potential and power. And now we see what their top laner is. What's Kenny going to play?
Well, you're facing a Lulu top, which means a lot of the short-range guys are going to be in for a painful experience. Gragas, of course, always available. There is something that Kenny started playing a whole bunch of to learn it. You could choose to lane swap here and give him a different type of top laner and just dodge the matchup in the first place. That's why something like Jax would work out here. But as far as a 1v1 is concerned, actually, I take it back. I remember talking with Zion Spartan, I think it was 1 week ago, in the North American LCS. We're watching a couple of games. He had some time off. and he said that I believe it was the Lulu match. He said Jax beats Lulu in the 1v1. I think it was Lulu. It might have been Kale, but it was one of the range matchups. He said Jax wins the matchup. You max Q, and you just out-trade the entire time. You open Flask, you max Q, and you beat her in the head with your lamppost, and you win the matchup.
Okay, so I can completely see that for a Kale matchup. Lulu matchup, I guess that would work as well. We'll have to see. I mean,
So most solo lane Lulus max shield last.
Yeah.
What I've seen, they max the Whimsy second because basically the offensive power of shield per rank went down significantly. You get like 30 damage per level, which is not like super worth it. So you won't have a very highly ranked shield to withstand the damage. And again, you have the Flask to stand. You stay in the brush the entire time. And heck, even Counter-Strike gives you percentage damage reduction of AoE abilities. So you'd even reduce some Glitterlance damage. There's like these little things that like matter, but if my memory serves correctly, this is actually a matchup for Jax. Now that was, of course, also before the Jax nerfs of 411, I believe it was, where he lost armor and health per level. So maybe it tipped the matchup back a little bit, but of course Kenny wants to face the battle. The 2-1-2 lane's not horrible. Honestly, Caitlyn can still hold up to any lane, so there's no direct reason to lane swap here for Wazabi.
yeah, the Caitlyn's going to bully that lane around a little bit. The Morgana is actually going to get pushed in a bit by the Nami in terms of matchups. But the Jax, starting with the Doran shield. He actually started a Doran shield when he was Mundo as well in that last game that we saw a bit of. So Kenny actually using that item when we don't actually see a lot of play from it at all.
Well, and I mean, shield is understandable when you face up against a Lulu. You will take many auto attacks, and so the extra damage reduction and then the bit of sustain afterwards does help. But Zirene was pretty emphatic about the fact that you have to start Flask in that kind of matchup. Now, if they guess right, they bind ManCloud here. I feel like it's one of those brushes where you must like just shoot at blind dark binding, and you go for it.
Oh.
Shoots wide. Ooh, Lee Sin Q missed as well. They do kill the trinket at least.
30 seconds.
So hey, 10 gold. Kenny already winning the matchup.
Yep. It's not going to buy him anything, though.
No. But if you wanted to teleport in, maybe it gets you 1 potion extra.
Zeus.
Sees Chris.
Nope, he saw it.
Didn't get spotted himself, though. He should have seen the animation or the particle from that ward going down. No sweepers, though. Wazabi Gaming cannot remove that ward as well. Yep, they ping it. They say there's a ward right here. If only Captain Ziploc opened up with a sweeper, but on Lee Sin, I don't think you ever would. The ward hop's too valuable.
It's way too valuable in the early game. You swap it out first or second back. Get some wards in your inventory and then a Sight Stone. But Wazabi still very aggressive and forward in their play. Oh. They see them entering the bush, but they don't know how many.
And the binding comes out. Wow, yeah. That's surprising they face check with 3. They do see Lee Sin, though.
Yep.
So they knew it was at most 4. And right here, Baby Zeus is mid lane. So we get out of the level 1s without incident. Although Kenny is on the wrong side of the map right here. He's going to take a very slow route over to this red buff. But Chris is trying to stop this. Captain Ziploc a little bit aware here. He should be able to smite this. There we go. Glitterlance, and he stays safe.
Takes a little extra bit of damage. And TP used from Kenny to actually get up to the top lane.
He TP'd without recalling, so he's actually still on 1 potion despite having some extra gold in his inventory. He actually walked partway across the map and then teleported. Unless I like missed the recall and he actually did do that. But I don't believe that actually happened here. So a bit of a missed opportunity by Kenny. But maybe he keeps up in the lane because of course Lulu was missing for some time as well.
Bottom lane pretty much going the way you would expect. Impactful was actually not shoving it in very hard, being Tristana and having the explosive shot. Instead, Latman applying the pressure alongside the Morgana.
It's actually very tricky to get level 1 pressure as Nami and Tristana.
Yeah. Because
you have to get into like a 1-on-1 champion, like a 2-on-2 champion fight to make that happen. Because you have to sit there auto-attacking minions slowly but surely to get the push down.
Level 2s for Latman and 10Q.
There we go. Zia gets that without too much loss, but they do have minions to still farm in the wave. But yeah, whereas like Caitlyn can just like spam Qs at the very start and guarantee the push lead, it's actually fairly tricky for a Trist Nami to get the first push going. So let's see, down 10 CS, about that much is on the field, so how good is their last hitting under turret?
Yeah, Latman actually has leveled up a second ability yet.
Nice.
There we go, he got the trap finally.
And actually thought on the Bunny Fufu, the Q lands as well, nice early damage. It's going to be now the biscuits and the mana potion for Bunny Fufu to keep this sustain up.
Pretty cute that he didn't level up anything until Binding landed. He's like, okay, now I need the trap.
Yeah.
He wasn't getting ganked, so he didn't put a point to his W just yet because he might need it for the E.
Captain Ziploc going towards the top side of the map. St. Vicious actually already counter-jungled the double golem there. And I like that choice to Q when you know it's going to hit either one. If you do a counter-jungle, you still get the Q shots there. Kenny getting heavily harassed, already uses potion, low on health. There's a push in, knock up on a baby Zeus. Mancla loses a couple hundred health as well. St. Vicious getting some harassed down on top of that one. But Kenny's got to be real careful. No teleport, not much health. And this ward will spot Captain Ziploc.
He's going to walk around.
What? Chris is
staying.
fearless.
Saint is coming up. This is a big thing, too. Because I remember talking about why Chris is so high in Challenger. It's because he knows how to bait the ganks. He knows how to bowflex in the top lane, make it look like he's stronger than he is.
They're going for this engage here. Saint's got to show up. Chris very low on health, does have flash. Kenny's going to back off. Saint, no red buff. That Q was, I don't know what that was for. But he lands the W, flashes the cocoon. That would have been a kill if it had landed on him.
And now Curse Academy are returning the aggression in the bottom lane. But ManCloud is here in the top lane. This would actually be a pretty aggressive dive. Kenny's not going to back, though, because he doesn't have TP.
Oh, the ward spots ManCloud. He actually knows he's gotten seen. I don't think he can kill Kenny with this. But he does make him miss the entire wave of gold. Teleport's not up for another minute here. And that is a cannon wave plus a double caster wave. Sacrificed.
Ooh, no TP, can't absorb the gold, can't get the experience. It's a pretty big loss there for the Jax, who wants to scale up. And look at that, Chris spams the Dorn's ring on the way back.
And actually, ManCloud, I don't believe, lost a single minion for that roam, unless I miscounted one of them. The wave was pushed into Baby Zeus' turret, and then Baby Zeus didn't push the second wave very fast, so ManCloud got back without it being under his turret, and he doesn't even miss anything for that. So very nice roam there. Pre-6 Yasuo roam. Impressive by ManCloud.
Yeah, knowing when to roam and how to roam in terms of wave manipulation is a very key feature in these matchups.
Yeah, it's really been the cross-lane plays that have really been the reason for these teams winning. See if Curse Academy can get more of the same, or if Wazabi Gaming can keep continuing to learn from their lessons from game one. Stun's going to come out into Chris, but look at that shield plus Whimsy just really denying the damage, and Kenny is taking a bunch of punishment, who, by the way, is maxing in power, so it's 3 points W. The initial engage from the Q is not nearly as high, and you can see he just isn't mobile enough to deal with Lulu right here.
Yeah, I know in some matchups you max
melee ones.
The Q. And some of them, like Vladimir, you max the Q. Yeah. So that you can constantly close the distance.
Right. The leap strike, by the way, if you're not big Jax players, that's his leap strike button.
Right. Leap away.
Well, Ziploc lost his 2-minute trinket, though, so he is without ward hopping and without extra vision to supply to the team for some time. Saint wants to sneak into the bottom lane. There we go, Bubble. Oh. Nice prediction there. Latman takes a whole bunch of damage. Ignite is on as well. Saint not quite in range. Summoner heal pop, but in comes Impactful. He still wants this. Now they go to 10Q. Cocoon's going to land. Not good for the Morgana. Has to flash away. Every Summoner spell now down for Wazabi Gaming's bot lane.
And everyone except for the Ignite up for Curse Academies. They have a huge advantage right now. Also, they just pushed out the 2 bottom laners. If they wanted to do Dragon, they could, but they're don't have ManCloud.
Yeah, exactly. That went well. We both said the same thing at the same time. And yeah, so Captain Ziploc on the wrong side of the map. Pink ward coverage already there for Curse Academy, but simply the fact that Yasuo wasn't there means CA isn't going to go for that global objective. Just back to the jungle. Saint going for the tank Elise build, by the way. We saw Spectral Wraith, I believe, both times from Captain Ziploc. And this time around, it's the Quill Coat. Quill Cloak? Is it cloak or coat? I forget.
Quill Coat.
Coat. It is a coat. Yeah, so the tank Elise build going for Ancient Golem and extra wards.
Yeah, Crumb's also subscribed to the Spectral Wraith over tankiness and went full spell pen. Not going to be the case for St. Vicious here. They don't really need anybody to deal more damage. They're going to have all of this damage from Yasuo, from Tristana in the late game, all these knockups. Of course, they don't have a lot of the knockups because no level 6 is here for the bottom lane.
But soon they will have them, and it's going to be all kinds of difficult. Now, the cool thing about Morgana in this matchup is you can easily predict the bubbles and black shield them, but there's just a lot of constant pressure that demands your attention that sometimes it just gets rough. Kenny, again, half HP. Chris just goes in from the teleport and just crushes the health bar. Kenny's got to be real careful, puts the dodge down. Chris, though, could easily dive. There's one Q for the kill. Can he dodge it? He does! And Chris can't get enough damage down.
Very, very close. That last glitter lance, just a little bit off. And that's what made the difference.
The ward for Baby Zeus is going to spot Manclick coming back into the lane. He's got 8 gold, killing a couple of little wraiths, why not? But otherwise, nothing of value gained. St. Vicious now towards his blue buff. Actually, a late trip there. Went and pot up some Sork Shoes, so an interesting mix of build.
Yeah.
No extra AP, but still wants the Magic Pen to deal some damage.
Yeah, actually, Sork Shoes on at least very early on is extremely efficient.
Yeah.
Extremely efficient in the early game. It's actually one of the best first buys for her.
Yeah, I know some people who will. I've seen him do it from Machete. I've seen him do it from Spirit Stone, and right now it's Mancloud doing it just from Saint doing it just from the Quill Coat. So he does have the ward that comes out, and the Magic Pen for the damage up. But if he can get another gank going through, Impactful and Bunny Fugu have now hit level 6. Bubble will not land at a 10Q. He stays safe. Mancloud kills away this wave. Will he go on to Baby Zeus? But here comes Captain Ziploc, so the answer is no. Nice flash by Mancloud. Gets away from the shockwave. But that is still a better cooldown trade for Wazabi.
Yep, in the overall, but if there's capitalization here off of the lack of an Orianna ultimate, then it could go Curse Academy's favor. But Saint, he's camping top right now. He's pitching that 10.
And it's going to be maybe difficult for Kenny, who, by the way, despite how bad this matchup looked on paper, he is equal in CS.
Looked pretty bad on our screen, too.
Yeah, I
not
mean,
just on paper.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah,
wow.
Sorry. What I meant from our evidence, he's actually still equal in minions. It is pushing down, though. He's got to be very aware of Saint, and so he's actually pulling Captain Ziploc up right now in case there's a 2-on-2.
Yeah, Zip's going to pass over this ward. He still does not have a sweeper in his inventory. That's going to cause Kenny to go aggressive, but 2-on-2.
Fist of the Stun hops back to the Lee Sin, and here comes the dive. Looks like Elise is not going to catch anybody in her web, so an easy retreat there for Wazabi. Keep that man alive. Chris
is just so good at setting up these ganks because it makes it seem like he's playing dumb, but he's actually really smart about it.
Yeah.
Kind of like, I'm playing really aggressive and up in your lane, but my jungler's been sitting here the entire time.
And it's really been paying off for the guy right here. So he finally has his first lead of 7 minions plus a wave right there. Latman actually loses the black shield, and there comes the engaged tidal wave. Only going to hit 10Q, forced him to disengage. No one's coming to show up to this party, though. Binding hits Bunny Fufu. Good damage comes through the Q as well. They got to be real careful. The puddle gets the kill, and Latman survives with a summoner heal.
Very well played there, and the combination damage up top, though. Chris taking a little bit of a beating. This was Kenny.
Oh, the flash kick into range. He's got a flash back towards his teammate, St. Vicious. Double Glitter Lance as well, and Captain Ziploc will go down. Very little mana left on Kenny. There's the Glitter Lance. There's the double kill. Chris playing it great.
Yeah, coming up really big there for his team. 1,400 gold lead now. And another duel in the middle. There's action all across these lanes.
And you know what? I wouldn't want it any other way. So great fights here for Curse Academy. The 2 kills up there is absolutely massive. And Chris now has a very definitive lead there. The triple Thorin's Wing working out in his favor. More minions getting denied. This turret losing health as well. Curse Academy for the first time actually doing well in their laning phases.
Yeah, that's
across
true.
The board.
And now St. Vicious making a visit middle. He actually wasn't spotted out. The Cocoon still hits. Good aim.
Nice shot there. Just doesn't necessarily mean very much. Doesn't deal damage. Doesn't pull turret aggro. None of that. Got to be aware of that one. Curse Academy going to go ahead and send a recall back. Pickaxe BF Sword should be up for both these AD carries, so they are very cognizant of staying with, on item parity, not getting overmatched by the enemy builds, and so because of that, you've got a pretty much equal minion game between the two.
Yep. Right now, it's just boots for Caitlyn versus an extra Doran's Tristana.
Pretty much equivalent. Like, that doesn't mean too much. Actually, I really do like boots on Caitlyn, though. Because her range is so much higher than anyone she'll fight in lane, except for a few rare exceptions with like Jinx and Kog'Maw, movement speed is a really good way to guarantee trades that your opponent can't hit you with. They don't become trades, they become takes. You don't pay them back for anything. Mancloud, oh yeah! Good steal. I've seen some actually rush Berserker's Greaves. I think more so back when they were only like a 575 gold upgrade cost. Now that they're 100 gold more, it's you kind of see less of it, but it was just like, yeah, get more move speed, really guarantee that you're going to win by not getting shot back at.
Static Shiv for ManCloud completed. His farming is going to be a little bit better. And really no action in this mid lane for the most part. There's been some attempted ganks, some roaming by ManCloud, but despite all the setup on the side lanes for his ganks, like he could just walk up and it could be like, okay, get 1,000 range gap closer off of your knockup, we're good. But he hasn't put use to that just yet, but it's 14 minutes into the game. He's got rank 2 of it.
Yep.
He hasn't used it once. Hasn't had the opportunity to.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, I mean, Curse Academy are winning in the laning phase down as well. They're not completely forced to play hyper aggro, but this dragon coming up is going to mean attention required by all teams involved. Kenny's coming down.
Both these mid laners have rank 2 ultimate, and nobody else in the game is above level 10. Above level 9, actually.
Wow. Ooh, baby Zeus, gotta be careful. Big damage comes through. There's the knockup chain, and uh-oh, you gotta be careful if you're Orianna, but here comes Kenny to protect the teammates. Gets a stun on a Chris, but here, oh, 2-man shockwave as well.
The rest of the team's falling in.
And there's the rest of the team. They are surrounded. Those same bitches goes in with very little health. Captain Ziploc stays alive, but Double Bumble comes out. Impactful might just claim the kill. The kicks back, and yes, that will be kills traded 1-for-1 so far. But now looks like Wazabi Gaming forced to win from this one. Flash away from Kenny. Good damage on a buddy who summoner heal used, and ManCloud is chasing. Windwall comes out. The chase, the Q's gonna hit. There's the auto attack, gets the kill. Now Kenny's gonna trade back. The knock up there onto Orianna, but Impactful wants Kenny. Not going to find that one, though. 2 for 2, I believe, the trade overall. As a Curse Academy under control.
Great fight from both sides.
Yeah.
Honestly,
yeah.
The way that played out, Saint looked like he got caught, but he bought time with the repel, and then it just trailed off from there. I don't know if either side can actually get a dragon off of this yet. Yeah, they're all just backing. Kenny's going to try to stop some.
Oh, he does stop Chris's recall. It's actually pretty big.
Yeah, Saint walks up, but he gets caught. It's basically a clown car bush. There's a lot more people in there than you expected. Gets the repel off, buys some time. Meanwhile, Ultimate getting blown middle. Ziploc off to the side. Double bubble was really big there to stop the mobility of Ziploc to get out. And then Impactful trying to do as much damage as possible. And ManCloud going a little deep, but gets picked up here and trades Latman for himself.
Yeah, unfortunately, he went for the wrong target there. I think they could have killed Baby Zeus, and he had went and chased down the Jinx there on Latman. Interesting note with your Tristana ulti, by the way. One of the, I think, only knockups in the game where there's no stun afterwards. If you knock someone into a wall, they don't move, it basically doesn't stun.
Yeah.
They immediately get control back of the champion.
Staggers you for a little bit, but not every move is condemned.
Yeah, well, I mean, even like Dragon's ulti will keep you locked up for a time.
Yeah. Even
if you do get right into a wall. Man, be careful. Jumps on in for the damage as much as he can. Actually stays safe. There's the knock-up into the back line. Finds 10Q, and Kenny goes down right away. Chris gets the kill there. Saint forced to run away, but a killing spree for Chris means they are nice and happy here.
Their long-range damage was off to the right. Latman had nothing to do with that big clump. He's getting zoned by Bunny Fufu.
Beautiful play by the support to make that happen. Actually, red buff on the Nami. Why the heck not got a kill?
That's what was stopping him from getting in there.
Hey, man, it's scary. Combines the powers of fire and water. 10Q puts the heals. Well, actually, gets hit with a negative heal there from Nami, and actually the team forced to back up. Latman trying to carry his weight as best he can. He's got plenty of shields on him, but
Saint is extremely low right now, but so is Captain Ziploc. They're both going to have to back off again, and ManCloud is going to take this mid turret for his team.
And there we go. The aftermath of the fight. The first turret comes down, and Curse Academy hold on to a 2.2 thousand gold lead here. Looking pretty good overall in their fighting. Only up 2 kills, though, to be fair. Wazabi Gaming are holding on pretty closely. But the first items are coming through now. The Infinity Edge done for Tristana. The Berserker's Greaves added in for ManCloud as well. And he is rushing for Infinity Edge. No Rune King for him, just wants the burst.
Yeah, he's just going to go straight for it as opposed to the chip down build. He's looking for the big hits. It's a good choice there in this matchup. And a big thing about all of this is the vision game that's going to be coming out here. Both junglers with the sight stones, both supports have them now. You can take utter control of these areas. And I like that sweeper. That's a really good sweeper. It's going to get him 2.
There we go. Wards go down 60 gold to St. Vicious. That's actually a pretty decent amount, to be completely honest. This Dragon now under pressure. Looks like Wazabi not in a position to stop this. Dragon goes securely to Saint. Look at that, 3,000 gold lead now. Buying a bunny doesn't mean much, but hey, 30 more gold for the Ward.
And Captain Ziploc actually hasn't still swapped out his Trinket Ward yet. For a sweeper, he's holding on to that for the mobility.
Now that he has Sightstone, though, I think he should swap next time he gets back to base, though. There's not, to me, there's not a really big reason to keep onto that Trinket anymore. But Saint gonna continue to kill things away. Those all go and die. Chris back in the top lane, and I want to watch now how this top lane unfolds, because they were equal in CS early on. But now Chris has 3 kills and 2 assists. He is significantly ahead of Kenny. I want to see if the matchup flips any farther from here, because right now they're equal, but it could get so much worse.
He just walks up and hits the turret, it'll kill it, and then he can go on to Kenny. No, he didn't even have to walk up and hit it. Just killed over himself.
Oh, actually, he leapstruck onto the Q, which means big damage coming out. Ulti popped by him. Chris lands the Glitter Lance. One more shot to get the kill. The dodges come out, but you can't dodge picks. And now 6-3, great 1-on-1 by Chris.
And there was another Glitter Lance still in the barrel there for Chris, just ready to pop out and finish the kill. Huge chase potential there. He got the Morellonomicon and the Ionian Boots of Lucidity, so he's pretty much sitting at max cooldown reduction already on Lulu, so he's able to get a ton of Glitter Lances off in succession. Basically, you feel like you just recovered from the movement speed, and you eat another one.
Yeah, it's a painful situation to be in. No Merc Treads done just yet for Kenny. He is starting that one there. You can see the Null Magic Mantle in the inventory. That will help a bit, but arguably not enough.
Ooh,
Finding
right
mid-air. Exhaust comes down to Impactful. Might have been off more than he can shoot. Does the damage come out? Great bubble stops the ulti in from Caitlyn. Impactful will not die, but 10Q just might. Actually, no. Latman just gets the damage up, but the crits come through. Bunny Fufu claims the kill.
Oh, Ziploc on the side, though. Trying to secure it.
Well, the bubble's going to hit Caitlyn. There's the Q. Flashes it. Ulti comes out. There's the heal. Ward not going to hop onto that one just yet. Flashes, actually. Gets the kill with a kick right there. So 2 for 1 on that fight, but top lane under fire the whole time. Only 2 guys to defend.
It's another capitalization here from Curse Academy. Wazabi Gaming, they're going to get this bottom turret response, but there's still more members in this top lane for Curse Academy. Wazabi Gaming are going to have to put up a siege, see what they can do. Down 3,000 gold.
Yeah, I think Curse Academy has to stop and go ahead and defend this. They're sending Tristana to do this. Good choice by Latman to stay there and push. He realizes with Trista alive, there's not much turret damage he can get, so he'll back off. But yeah, there was really not enough time to continue that siege. Mid lane could get pushed out, etc. So Curse Academy still getting out pretty well with that one. They got a more important turret. And in fact, they're up 3,500 gold as a result of all their actions. So still good for the blue team.
It's pretty funny too, because if you just look at the CS, you would think that Baby Zeus is a lot stronger than he is. But the fact that global objectives have been going over to Curse Academy, and the fact that they've been getting all of these turrets, that Orianna still hasn't hit a lot of her power spikes, whereas Yasuo's, he's pretty close to hitting another one with the IE.
Yeah, he's got to be close to BF sort of right at this point. I wouldn't be surprised to see a recall soon to pick that piece up. I don't believe IE should be ready for him, but BF would be a good bit of extra damage. His bottom lane turret starting to take some damage from minions. Latman went somewhere else across the map. Zeal added, so he's actually completely matched with Tristana right now. Actually, ahead of Tristana, to be completely fair. Zeal versus Dagger there. And again, if Caitlyn can keep this sort of minor, like it's not really even a lead, their gold's identical, but just because the extra Doran that was picked up by Impactful, Latman's actually going to stay slightly ahead in item curve because now they're adding crit to their build. And it's such an important stat to add right now.
Yeah, they're actually about 30 gold off from each other. They're really close.
That Doran just could hurt Impactful, though, which I'm actually surprised he bought, considering he had a Nami support in the first place. He doesn't need the extra sustain. But he'll be late to Zeal, he'll be late to Phantom Dancer if all goes equal, which could allow Latman to do more damage in a fight.
Yeah, you just have to get the right power spikes and back with the right gold on Latman's side. Make sure that you press the fight immediately after. Kenny in the bottom lane has his TP, Chris has his, and he's still roaming that top lane side of the jungle, owning it for himself and warding it up, which we saw him do last time.
One thing I'm actually surprised by is that Wazabi aren't spending very much effort setting up that top lane split push, because an outer turret's so easy to kill, and with Dragon up in a minute and a half, that's like the right place to put a teleporter. And it only takes a couple of wards to keep that kind of location safe. There's very few inlets to the northern jungle right now, with mid lane pretty well contested.
All these wards for Curse Academy on the right side, the blue side of the jungle.
They are extremely well set up for Dragon. Curse Academy are right now playing farther ahead in their minds than Wazabi.
Minute till Dragon. ManCloud down bottom, 5 men strong for Wazabi Gaming in the mid. It's going to reward them with the turret.
But, I mean, you're going to get the same turret from ManCloud right here. It's actually what matters then is how this mid lane fight goes. Kenny wants to engage. There's no TP from ManCloud. Great disengage wave, but can they get Impactful? Looks like Kenny is not able to do this. He goes down the 1 for 0. That dive does not work.
Yeah, there was not a ball slapped on him fast enough and no way to shockwave the Tristana and keep her in the fight just yet. ManCloud's going to look for it. Minion Wave's going to help.
If Ziploc turns around, he can dash through him and get Kate. They're not quite going to get that just yet. Binding hits Saint. Good choice there. Bunny gets the bubble. Nice dodge by Baby Zeus and 10Qs, keeping safe. But now mid lane can be under fire.
Kenny, very aggressive play there. There is a ward that he can TP to that's behind everybody if they want to force the fight. 3 seconds on him.
Shockwave hits ManCloud and Impactful. Good targets there. ManCloud has a lot of health for this one. Q not quite going to land, but he is low on health. Yeah, that Jax TP could be very good for them. They don't have Elise. This is actually a real possibility.
He's just going to walk it out. Get himself up there. Dragon is now live. Saint, very healthy, just got back. Ziploc, same situation. They're going to rotate straight towards it here for both sides.
Well, they walk through some wards to do this. The Windwall going to block damage. Mean is not up for the fight if a teamfight happens. Ziploc goes in, gets the smite. Nicely done. And now ManCloud goes for the counterattack. Ziploc actually kicks him out of the pit, though. But Impactful claims the kill. 1 for 1 so far as Saint also dropped. Chris on the backside with the Whimsy going very quick. Home guard, of course, helping that one as well.
He just went straight around. That was awesome. A great pickup there by Ziploc. Sacrificed himself, but they still got St. Vicious on it. The kick of ManCloud out of the pit.
Yeah.
I don't know if that was good, great, or questionable. Because he got him out of the fight. He was one of the lowest members, and then he didn't have to blow his flash on the retreat. Because they would have had to stop fighting that fight anyway.
That's true. Yeah, it might have panned out a little bit better for him. But you know what? Overall, Chris Academy do get a little bit of suffering there for losing that dragon. St. Vicious can't leave his mark in the challenger scene without missing a smite once every now and then.
Oh.
Saint, I expected it. I was like, Ziploc better get this. No one gets that smited by St. Vicious. Let's be real. Chris, blue buff. Level 14 for himself. Death cap is on. He is all kinds of scary. One thing I like about Chris Academy is there's so many good players there. It's one of those teams where like any one of them could put the game on their back and really carry the team home. Game 1, it was St. Vicious playing a freaking great Lee Sin and setting up ManCloud. This game, I think people are pulling their weight, but it's Chris who's really crushing.
Yeah, and Impactful is going even in lane 2-1-4 on both sides. Saint, he's caught though.
Binding slow, the Q from Lee Sin. He can jump to pretty much nothing here, but here comes Kristana.
Oh, into the bushes.
Tidal Wave is going to put Saint right in front of Latman. Kill picked up off of Binding. Now Impactful going to get killed as well. The flash ulti in. There's a Shockwave. 2 kills going for Wazabi Gaming.
Well, 10Q hit 2 of them, and that's all they needed.
Nice.
All they need, and they're making their way straight towards the Baron, but ManCloud's pushing bottom, and Chris is off on the wings.
Well, Chris got to make the call saying, we're going to contest Baron right here, even with their jungler off the map. Wazabi, they've had their Baron attempt stopped last time around, but they're going to try this time in game 3 right here. Down about half health, the damage coming through. 10Q low on health. They soon have the Yasuo. Baby Zeus is playing zoning against Bunny Poo Poo and Chris there. Bubble's going to miss. There's the binding. There's the ulti in from Yasuo, though. Can they get the kill? Shut down on a Lulu. ManCloud's still around. The Baron so low on health, but a double kill for ICanEU. Now the push on in. Spike comes through. 2 more kills and Baron for Wazabi.
They just evened up the gold, too, despite that huge deficit that they were fighting against for so long. Now they're right back in the game, and they're actually ahead of Curse Academy in terms of combat stats for a good while. This is really big and a huge pickup for Wazabi.
Well, now, Wazabi, what can you do with this? You finally have the ability to make a play in this game. What can you do with it? The decisive game 3 right now in front of us. If you want a bye in the first round of the playoffs, if you want a better seed, you've got to win this series. Sure, both teams are going to be in the playoffs, but if you can dodge Team 8, that would be good.
That'd be really good, because Team 8 right now, they're gunning for those top spots. Coast, same boat. LOL Pro, going to see them tomorrow, see what they bring out. But right now, focused on these 2 teams and what can they do to help their playoff picture.
Let's see what these guys can do. 300 gold so far, what they've gotten from that bear.
Yeah. Well, the contemporary combat stats are going to be really big for them because that's going to stop the split push of ManCloud. Now, also, the fact that Kenny didn't use his teleport in any of that means they still have that pressure available. And ooh, chunked him down. He has no resistance items yet. He had neglected the Athenes for the Morello regen, and that was his choice.
I'm going to say it.
It's hurting him a little. Kenny's going to try to dive in. They have Shockwave. If you can get it to the back line.
Solo's the ward. This is interesting. Actually, they're not emphasizing split pushing very heavily. I'm a little bit surprised by that.
Yeah, it's not usually Kenny's style, but he would have to go up against ManCloud, who's 2 levels up on him and has the 100% crit build. It's kind of one of those toss-ups where it's like, I don't know if I can win this, but oh, 3-man Shockwave.
Binding doesn't quite hit, though. Bunny Fupa gets hit. Actually, he does. Never mind. Ulti comes out. There's the kill picked up. Aggro goes to Latman, who is actually pretty safe in the back lines. 1-for-0 and a mid-turret goes down.
And the split push doesn't work out for Curse Academy. ManCloud just barely gets there in time, and they can't even set up an ultimate off of Chris's Wild Growth. No Last Breath to follow.
So now the top lane going to be the target. Lots of wards come down from Wazabi Gaming as they make their way through, so they now own the western jungle. They ping that, hey, you know, maybe the mid lane could be under fire. Be careful here, but top lane outer goes down. They could leave Latman to keep pushing. He's safe with wards, and they could defend with 4.
There's a lot of pushing power here for Curse Academy, though, if they get to that turret. But nope, they decide to back off of it. They don't have a minion wave yet. They're going to lose tier 2.
That's really good by Wazabi. They recalled just enough people, and look how fast this turret's falling down. They play on the safe side, though. They saw Impactful and said, let's not risk it. Here comes Lulu and Yasuo as well, but looks like these guys are trying.
Getting collapsed on. Chris is about to have his ultimate. If he can get 3 members in that, oh, nice Q.
It's almost going to be a 5-on-3. Chris takes some pretty big damage. Nice wind wall from ManCloud. Looks in for Latman. The flash wild grip with the black shield came in time to keep Latman alive. That was huge. TenQ takes the big damage.
Oh, no.
There's the bubble. Shockwave just misses. But can they re-engage? Kenny has black shield. Can he leap it unimpactful? Can't stun quite in time, but they found Saint Vicious. There's the knockups. He does not follow with Yasuo, but Saint will go down. He was too slow to leave this fight. Dissonance pushing the team in. They can go for tier 2 top.
Even with the Shockwave missing, they capitalize on it, and they're going to push in and try to get this tier 2 top turret. They might be able to get a little more off of it too. They just have so much power. And also the fact that Chris bought the Morellonomicon, it really does hurt you in the mana department. Granted, it gives you some back in regen, but it needs just so much more. It forces Chris back.
We can't quite land the stun, but who cares? Black shield goes on. Now this turret going to lose a bit of health. 10 seconds left on Saint Vicious for the respawn. It looks like the defense is here for Curse Academy. They don't go in the 4v5. Smart choice there. No ulti up for Chris either. But Wazabi Gaming off the Baron got 3 turrets and a kill. 2 kills, actually.
And map pressure for themselves. They've made it from about a 6K gold deficit up to about 4K up for them now.
Yeah. 10,000 gold swing within the last 4 minutes, basically. Great turn of events.
Yeah, Dragon's going to come up, and somebody's going to get about 1,500 from it. Maybe a little bit more at this level 12 mark.
All right. CA do get that one for themselves. 263 gold for ManCloud. With large number. 1,345 gold Dragon. If I did my math right. No, I didn't.
Nope.
1,315. That's what I was going for. That's correct, yeah, 1,315. So yeah, about 1,500. Wazabi now to defend here on this bottom side. Baron buff has timed out, so we're back on equal footing aside from this 2,000 gold lead. I'm a little surprised Wazabi weren't able to set up Dragon, but basically you run out of limited time where you're like, okay, we can either push this top lane or we can set up Dragon. They chose to push instead. That did allow Curse Academy some gold back. In terms of a gold game, that actually is the wrong choice, but the map positioning from getting a turret down might be worth more. And we'll see if they play around the 6, actually almost 6 out of turrets being gone. Bottom lane still has 1 left to go.
And now the siege bottom begins from Wazabi Gaming. They do have numbers advantage for a couple seconds here, but Captain Ziploc is the one who's lagging behind it. He doesn't have TP.
And it's going to be Yasuo with the inside track. He will join this fight before the Lee Sin does, if that matters. Good damage comes out from Latman. He's got to respect the bubbles. And here comes ManCloud. There's the flash cocoon. It hits Latman. There's a knockup as well, and they already are fighting this battle. Shockwave actually misses completely and gets nothing. There's the knockup. 10Q goes down. Saint Vicious trades his life for it, though. And oh my gosh, the damage comes through. ManCloud gets another kill. There's so few health bars left on Wazabi Gaming. The flash is over the wall. Latman will go down. The shutdown's coming across there, and Chris easily going to find the 4th. 4-1, that fight for Curse Academy was perfect.
And it's a swing back. Now Curse Academy had a little bit of a gold lead when we were just talking about them being 4,000 gold down. Get themselves a Dragon, they get themselves a team fight that doesn't involve Ziploc, and they come out on top. Baby Zeus, another missed Shockwave.
Oh my gosh, but Ziploc, yeah, he's got to kick him back, but is Whimsy going to be enough? Chris still wants them.
Is he going to do it? He almost has his ultimate again.
Ooh, cue the minion, Glitterlance hits, but Ziploc stays alive.
Zipping around. Chris being so aggressive. He's going to go for that Lich Bane soon to start pushing turrets. Oh man, the Shockwave's a really big thing here. The Cocoon lands, but Latman's out. Baby Zeus throws it, it gets stopped by the wind wall.
Oh, that's what happened.
He threw it at a diagonal, but it was still enough to get clipped by the wind wall and didn't go the full length. If you throw the ball into the wind wall, it stunts it, puts it right in front of it. So it's a good play there by ManCloud, but also a little questionable because he didn't play around the wind wall correctly. He took only 1 step instead of about 2 forward.
That would have been a very different fight if Shockwave had hit, though.
You would have kept people off.
You would have caught everybody.
Yeah, and ManCloud hadn't blown his last breath by that point, I believe. Might have been like right after.
Very similar time. Yeah, it was like right after, I think, yeah.
So if he was able to keep tabs on him and not allow him to get the knockup, or at least the follow-up on the knockup, could have been very different.
Yeah, and the thing with the knockups in this Curse Academy squad is aside from the bubble, which is 1.5, they are all 1 second or shorter in terms of knockup duration. Meaning if you like Lee Sin kick him or shockwave him, or even just a jack stun, you can completely prevent his ability to follow up.
Yeah.
TP, and they want this fight. Here we go. Wazabi Gaming looking for it. Nice shockwave though.
Time.
Catches ManCloud. The knockup is there, but he gets destroyed and can't ult through the fight. Morgana ulti hits Chris as well. Takes the McHale's. Ulti comes in from Caitlyn. Finding won't quite land, but they got rid of the mid laner right as Baron respawns.
Yeah, it's really big for them. They're going to have to go after this Baron. Start it up. But there's a lot of poking potential here from Curse Academy. Chris, he's not afraid to run straight up. Try to wreak havoc in the pool.
And a ton of ward coverage for Curse Academy as well. They see this fight and they want to battle it. Bubble comes out, does not land, but Latman's got to be real careful. It barely dodges the cocoon here. Baby Zeus half HP. They find Saint Vicious. They find Baby Zeus actually. Both are trying to go to untargetable. And in goes Latman. He tries to go for the damage, but no Impactful takes him down. Baron Nashor does go over to Wazabi, but they are now forced to run away from this one. The ward hop over 3 kills for basically none there. ManCloud was dead before. 3 kills for Baron.
Baron going over to Wazabi Gaming. It's going to remove it off the map and eliminate it as an option for Curse Academy. But Curse Academy is still up in gold for right now. But the combat stats, once again, for Wazabi Gaming are pretty big.
It's going to make life for you painful. What? Life painful for you? That's the one I was going for.
What are you saying, Phreak?
Yoda.
Whoa.
I'm saying that I'm a very short Jedi from Dagobah.
All right, I got that one.
I mean, most people hopefully know the true 3 Star Wars movies.
I would hope they know the good ones, yeah.
Just opinion.
Just for their sake.
Okay, here we go. Curse Academy, though. Even despite Baron buff, I want to know, do they actually keep the aggression on? Because they have been down to fight with deficits before. They had the 2,000 gold deficit and fought for bottom tier 2, won that handedly. Wazabi Gaming wearing Baron buff on only 2 people, to be fair. It's actually not a very important Baron at this point.
The fact that they got it away from Curse Academy is still really important and kind of a boon for the team because you don't want them to have that advantage on top of everything. Like what ended up happening isn't the worst case scenario. It's still on the better side of the spectrum for them though.
True.
I would say that.
Yeah. I mean, you remove options from a team that's been trying to play dominant.
You'll have Baron on 2 people for this next Dragon.
Sure.
TP not available for Kenny, so he's going to have to be around the vicinity.
All right, well, the frontliners, the guys with the regen and the extra AP and AD. I think Jack's one of the champions who benefits best from that.
ManCloud is going to go for, I think, a Bloodthirster on the Yasuo.
I like that. I really like Bloodthirster on Yasuo.
Go for the extra shielding on top of his shield.
Yeah.
And a big thing here is that last Shockwave actually stopped ManCloud from using Last Breath because Wild Growth came out at the same time. And if you stop the Last Breath, you stop the extra flow shield, you stop the extra damage, and then you stop the persistent buff on him that ignores armor. So if you don't get the Last Breath off, you're actually substantially weaker because he becomes extremely strong for a short period of time afterwards.
He does. Well, ManCloud, though, with a very big wind wall, just protects that turret completely. St. Vicious takes a stun to the face. Kenny really wants that ulti in from Caitlyn. Here comes the knockup chain, though. On to 2 of them. Exhaust comes down, but Baby Zeus got to be careful. He flashed away from that one, and now 10Q is very much cut out trying to run away, and now it's Wazabi Gaming's front line that's getting just shredded down. Kenny hops the wall, but he gets double bubbled there, and Chris is going to claim both of them really quickly. And look at the other side of this fight. The knockup from ManCloud as well finds a 3rd Curse Academy, not afraid of anything. Only Latman's alive, and suddenly a teleport.
And the synergy here within the composition is showing. He's trying to run him down. Oof, not going to get it.
Dodges the way, realize, you know what? Caitlyn's a bit scary. Latman does survive that one, losing his flash. But look at that, 4 kills for nothing. Curse Academy can easily push in. This mid inhibitor is going to be gone, and maybe they get the game for it.
It's very possible here. They're going to go ahead and go straight after this inhibitor turret. 20 seconds on anybody from Wazabi Gaming aside from Latman. They're going to push this, possibly go for the 2-0 and the repeat performance from the 3rd, 4th place match.
And there we go, jumps in towards Latman just to push him away. Why the heck not? Flash bubble for Bunny Fufu, but this will be the game. No one's respawning. I mean, 10 seconds is a hard time. Ulti comes back in towards Latman. He's going to drop. There goes the Nexus. 38 minutes, and Curse Academy takes the series 2-1.
And this game was really Chris. 9-1-10. involved in 19 out of the 21 kills for Curse Academy, doing a really good job. He talked about it. Everybody on this team has the potential to carry it from start to finish. Dominated the top lane, put iKennyU a little bit on tilt in his play, and the fact that iKennyU, he actually doesn't play very well from behind because he always plays like he's ahead.
Yeah.
It's very actually interesting to watch. Sometimes it works. Sometimes it falls flat on its face, kind of like that did.
Yeah.
So very good player, but at the same time, Chris was just so far ahead all throughout that matchup.
Chris played awesome. He was definitely the guy of that game for me, 100%. The first pick, Lulu, we saw come out, and he crushed the lane. You know, got a little bit of assistance from the jungler there. St. Vicious set him up a little bit there, but there were still solo kill after solo kill came through. Really good play by them. And once again, it looked just enough like game one where the shot calling was just that little bit better. These guys got into the team fights that Wazabi Gaming just couldn't quite win. The shockwaves were decent, but the wind wall stopped so much damage coming through that really Wazabi just couldn't win those fights eventually.
Yeah, and Wazabi Gaming, you know, they did put up a good performance. Game 2, they were ahead. Early games seemed to be going their way most of the time throughout this series.
Even part of Game 3 was going well.
Oh, yeah, it was going really well for them. They had a little bit of a comeback there, but Yasuo and the comeback mechanics throughout that team that they had created for themselves, and with that completely in mind, is these power spikes. When you have 100% crit, when you get a little more defensive in your build, take people out.
Yeah.
And you could see every time Chris was running in like, all right, I'm going to wild growth. You can get off of this. And then also, that last Bunny Fufu ultimate was really well placed, and the patience on ManCloud to wait for it to hit 2 members was just perfect.
Yeah, and that was just kind of the setup for the fight. The exhaust, not enough to stop it from kind of killing everybody, and just down the line, so much damage output available. A great game from Curse Academy. So with that match officially history, here's how our bracketologist scored it. Curse Academy moves on to the semifinals next Sunday, where they will face either Team LolPro or Cognitive Gaming, because that matchup takes place tomorrow.
And the other semifinal match has already been set. It's Team Coast and Team 8 who duke it out next Saturday after the LCS.
So speaking of the LCS, there are 4 more games tomorrow. Evil Geniuses and Team Dignitas get the day started, and then it's Complexity against Team Solomid.
Then LMQ and Counterlogic Gaming take the Rift, and Team Curse close out the day against Cloud9. It all starts at noon Pacific Daylight Time, 9 p.m. Central European Summertime.
So with that, we've reached the end of our time together tonight. But before we go, I want to say thanks again to our friends at Coca-Cola. Now for myself, Zirene, the entire live broadcast crew, and you wonderful viewers, thanks for watching. Good night, and GG.